Gonna be Office immediately open it up, but Sensa not giving him much opportunity. Gonna be that Resonator down very, very early. Sensa trying to go for a bit of an in-cap versus Office, trying to see if he can save off all of his bleeds. He got a lot of damage rolling on him. Interrupt on the nature as the Karma comes out for Sensa, trying to reverse whatever damage he can, utilizing those defenses really early. Office still holding on to that Flesh Cap, not letting that Karma really burn right through it. Gonna be a Fist of Fury for Sensei, swapping out for those fists to go for a bit of a kick, versus Office trying to get aggressive. Gonna be a wall with a Feral Druid with a bark skin. Sensei dipping under the bridge. That's gonna be Office trying to look for him, but Sensei looking to pour it out of the way. Still has a bunch of dots rotting him down. So the Office still has a lot of pressure on this monk. If you can just keep that pressure rolling, no more Karma, no more Diffuse Magic, no more Brew, you actually don't have a lot of defensive options anymore left as a monk. It looks like Sensei trying to see if he gets a pressure Office, but not chasing. He's still playing it very, very defensive. This means for Office, if he just gets any kind of pressure, any kind of aggro, he could maybe kill this monk over. And that's going to be Sensei with a Trinket still available. I don't know if he's got a human racial or not. Always able to get all the dots up and running. Trinket for Sensei. Perfect opportunity for Office to maximize damage. Got himself full Feral Frenzy and everything rolling. Sensei just trying to see if he can stave off these dots as best as possible. Ring of Pieces keeping the Feral at bay. But Office does reset. Try to get himself an opener again on Sensei. I think Spinning Crate may have got him out in the open. Gonna be no chicken available for Office. Full. That's gonna be a full Karma. I'm not sure why he pressed the Karma. Maybe expect for Office to get counter aggressive. Bashed by the Druid, looking to get out of this. So that's the Karma lost. Sensei trying to see if he can maximize the damage he's got. Office finds himself at very low health. Gonna be a main with Root to Fall. It does get to remove it with a Diffuse Magic, and it's gonna be taken down. I don't think it was even a touch of death. I think he just basically caught up to him. And they gave him a big old punch, just pulled him, pushed him over. Speed gonna be up next as an Assassin's Rogue, trying to go for a little bit of an honor duel with Sensei, but he's not really giving him that much of an opportunity. Gonna be the Diffuse, actually the Aegis trick, and starting to release some of the magic damage, the poison damage from Speed. Gonna be full Vendetta by the Rogue, got him some full downs on Sensei. Are those bleeds rotting him? Is he getting the biggest damage possible? I think he's trying to. Actually, that damage is like, listen in, the spike goes through, and I think Sensei may be dead. Oh my goodness. Yo, Speed comes up a bleed build. I love it. I actually love it. Ewok. Ewok is next. Wait, what the? What is this smog? I like it. It's all over the place. You got wings. You got yourself that big old helm from Mr. Pandaria. What are your daggers even? It's so hard to look at you. Speed get himself a reset. The Phantom Knights is going to get him out in the open. Try to see if he gets some damage in. Shadowlands available for Ewok. Does he capitalize on it? Blinded to Speed with a Milk for Death. Get a shot. Does not have a Trinket. This is a perfect opportunity for Ewok to potentially get some damage out. Playing that Necrolord sub, so he got himself a little bit more of a longevity damage and easy comp point building. So potentially could be more finishers. Big Flash Cut available for Speed. Shadow Step for Ewok. I think Shadow Step twice. What is going on? He's just fully dotted up. Just big back-to-back eviscerates onto Ewok. Just try to see if he can get some damage at Speed. Just going for Phantom Knights while evasion is up. And it looks like maybe Ewok is just going to die to the dots. Unless he's got something going on. I think he already burned double Shadow Step, so he can't even go for the juke or anything. Just armor to Speed as he closes the gap. And is Ewok just like messing with him, trying to get a damage going? Like trying to wait until you get like stun? Speed getting the kid shot before he does, and just letting the dots stick him out. Gonna be Ewok with that cheat death, but the man, I mean, is he gonna try to see if he can do something? No, it's just not. I'm trying to figure out, like, is it just messing with him and trying to set something up? Or what is going on? Speed trying to see if he can lock down Chicago. Gonna be immediate wall and a trick, and the Speed got himself in a full Vendetta, Cloak of Shadows, and evasion available for the Rogue. If he can keep those dots rolling on Chicago, he may be able to do something, but the Vendetta does force those dots to tick out a little bit faster than normal, giving him a lot of energy, but it doesn't really give him a lot of longevity in terms of the damage. The burst happens. Speed trying to see if he can maybe go for a bit of a reset, but Chicago not really letting him go anywhere. Speed with a bit of lag. Chicago trying to give him an opportunity to come back, but the Rogue was definitely lagging at the very end. Chicago realized it. Just stop. Just stop moving. Which is super unfortunate when the lag does hit you like that. Poe available over for the team 2. Could be Nightshade, or it could be Warthog Druid instead as a balanced Druid versus Chicago. Gonna be Warthog trying to see if he can set up a little bit of that Eclipse damage versus Chicago. Trying to go for a bit of a knock, but didn't happen. It's gonna be just jumping, leaping himself, just eating himself off of the bridge. And Chicago trying to see if he can purge as many buffs from him as possible. Does get himself quite a bit of a gap and looking maybe for a recovery behind the wall. Chicago trying to see if he can push up and maybe deny any kind of a reset. Trying to save the wind shear for a little bit later. Quick Cyclone versus Chicago. Did they drop a grounding? No, it was, I guess, a Wind Fury Totem. Big Ellie blast onto Worthless. And I think Chicago's playing like the Ellie build, isn't he? Has to be, dude. Has to be. I was thinking either that or Doom Wins, but Doom Wins nowadays nobody replace it. Worthless trying to get himself some damage. Gonna be a entanglement to Chicago. Definitely needs to make sure he got himself line inside of Chicago if he wants to go for the biggest burst possible. Trying to see if he can maybe max out the damage. Gonna be a disarm with a wall for Chicago. Just trying to see if maybe the Aegis Shrinking will give him a little bit more survivability together with a wall rolling in. As Worthless having to pop in a bear for a bit of a frenzy region. Trying to go for a minion cyclone where Chicago is able to get the knockback looking for the regrowths. If Chicago can maybe jump up, I think maybe go for, I thought maybe they could go for a windshield, but apparently they've already used the interrupt. But should be able to maybe pressure Worthless just a little bit more. Get a cyclone to follow. It is going to be a little bit DR, but Worthless at least is get an opportunity to get away from Chicago for just a moment, to break away from him for just a second. As Worthless goes in for a bit of a regrowth. 8 minutes in a duel, 90% dampener, boys, and Worthless is under a ton of pressure. Quick disarm with Chicago, not like they really need the weapons to generate a lot of Maelstrom. Is just able to keep Flame Shotgun, Frost Shotgun, and then if they can get their Ghostals up and running, that would be an easy Maelstrom right there. Trying to go for a Ninja Upper Cyclone, does get to miss it. That's going to be a Thunder to follow with a Grounding Totem, not giving Worthless any opportunity to catch any kind of CC on him whatsoever. Popo going to be up next. Trying to see if he might be able to get himself a setup versus Chicago. Lexi to follow as it's going to be a BDB down. Chicago trinkets away and just trying to see if he can waddle away from the Monk. Trying to see maybe a Capacitor Totem will do something, but it doesn't quite explode fast enough. Maybe a Dragonflight you'll be able to put Capacitor Totem super far and then move it on top of it at the last second, and that'll make it a lot easier to use. But just trying to see if he may be able to get some damage. Chicago BDB, drop it down randomly, get him some procs with his win. Wall out for Chicago as soon as he see cooldowns before NCC out of Poe. Trying to see if he can maybe turn the damage around. Karma out of Poe. Chicago trying to see if they can reduce the amount of pressure they're putting in inside of the Karma, not giving Poe any kind of healing. Quick witch shear, trying to see if they can maybe interrupt the Poe. Still super low in health, could maybe turn around another set of images. That's going to be big defenses, trying to get himself a shield, and Chicago just trying to see if they can maybe keep tussling at him. It's going to recover a little bit of Maelstrom and a little bit of health, using those images in order to build up even a little bit of Maelstrom, trying to get himself as much cooldown reduction with a Storm, I think a Stormbringer talent, potentially, maybe. But it's going to be Chicago with the Earth, the shield. Got himself another Rapture by healing himself, spending a Maelstrom. Lexium by Poe, but it doesn't have the damage. Is it going to be another? Fistsphere doing quite a bit. Can Chicago stop it? Trying to get himself a bit of a heal. Sunder for a moment. Capacitor Totem right after. Actually, might be able to get some procs versus Poe. Does get himself the Aegis. I don't know if that'll stop a lot of the physical damage from the Monk. That's going to be Ring of Peace. Trying to keep it at bay. Trying to swing around the corner with a Flame Shock rolling. The Earth Elemental joins in. At least give Chicago a little bit extra of that survivability, bolstering their overall maximum health. And just try to see maybe if they can get a bunch of procs. They can't, but Poe does not have Alexium. So maybe if you can lock down Chicago Fist Sphere, maybe it'll be enough. But Chain Harvest! Oh my god, just harvest him for everything that he's worth. Super, super unfortunate, boys. Oh my goodness. With Nightshade going to be the last one left as a Necrolord sub-rogue, going to be walking into Capacitor pretty early on. This is going to be burning a trinket as the Thunder comes out. Chicago with a wall, as evasion is up for the rogue. Chicago at least has a bit of Maelstrom generated from that Raptor, so she'll be able to maintain themselves quite well. Nightshade is gonna have to, did he get a shot Chicago at all? I think maybe he can still set up a proper kidney shot. Chicago does have a trinket for it though, but Nightshade keeps taking damage back to back, and looks like he's just gonna bail out of there. Flame Shark still on him most likely, which means he will not be able to hold stealth for too long. Does come out of stealth as he's trying to see if he can approach Chicago. The Flame Shot takes him out in the open. Next global, Chicago takes him. Does go for a what is it, Storm Strike? That looks like a different animation than what I'm used to for Storm Strike. Usually it comes down from up, down, but here it's like from down, up. There it is, boys. Chicago with a 1v4. I didn't even realize Chicago was going to go for a 1v4 there just now, boys. Yo, let's get another up and running, yeah? Let's get another duel up and running, boys.